Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, the eyebrow-raising, the bearded toyaholic, the guy with a really sore throat. Of course, I am the Mad Montreal Man, toyaholic extraordinaire. Not really, I'm just a DC multiverse toyaholic. You know that, you've been watching the show. And, I'll excuse my throat off the bat. If you hear me coughing, I'm sorry. I am once again dealing with a mild case of pneumonia. Ever since December 2023, I seem to be getting up and down pneumonia curves and stuff, and unfortunately, it's hit me, and it's kind of ironic because it's so hot out lately, but I am like feverish and freezing at the same time. So my throat's a bit scratchy. I'm sorry. Yeah. And also give you a heads up. Oh, by the way, if you watched the Street Fighter show, I hope you liked it. I also filmed another special, which is coming out next Wednesday. So if you notice that next Wednesday my throat sounds normal, it's because it was filmed before I got sick. Okay, heads up. Okay? It's a special on Wednesday. It will be a DC Multiverse character special. It'll be on Wednesday. But today, it's Friday. We're here to talk about action figures. Are we not? Yes, we are. And I thought we'd go digital today. But not the actual, just digital. We're going to actually look at the actual action figures from the digital line. And we're going to start off with Two-Face. It's been sitting on the shelf for a while. I just figured about time I get to him. And this one, I'm really happy I pre-ordered it at EB Games because it's sold out. From what I hear, excuse me, from what I hear, this is going to be super hard to get. I was really happy I pre-ordered it because if you didn't pre-order this one, you're more than likely going to be having to buy it on the secondary market and pay a lot more for it. And I'm talking about Stephanie Brown, Batgirl. Yeah. Happy I ordered this one ahead of time. And there's one that I have a bit of a personal connection to. I also was smart. I ordered this guy mostly because, and you guys ever watch my other channel, I've occasionally done some videos where I talk about some DC concepts that I had. And this character, I always thought I did it wrong. I probably will do an episode on the other channel about my concept, like flesh it out, but I'm talking about a character that I always thought should have been a hero. Monarch. Yes, I was smart. I ordered him. I'm happy I got him. I might also have, I'm not sure if I ever shared my designs for what my Monarch would be like, but we'll see. If I do, when I talk about him, it'll be up in the corner. If not, you might have to wait. But what do you say? I'm going to put Monarch down for a second here because I'm saving him for last. A lot of you want me to do Stephanie Brown first, but no, I am going to do Two-Face. No, the digital Two-Face. Yeah. So what do you say I get my friend, your friend, the enemy of mint and package everywhere, the one and only, the steel blade of justice, Dr. Scalpel, also known as Mr. Steel, for people who may noticed in comments lately that I've occasionally called him Mr. Steel, because that's his real name, but he's Dr. Steel right now, and Dr. Steel wants to get him out of the package, like right now. Mention package, people? Scream! Ah! And if you're wondering, yes, there is a variant of him that's black and white, but oddly enough, I've seen only reviews of that one. I haven't really seen a review of this one, so it's my turn. Yeah, my turn to take him out of the package, toss in a close-up, and we'll be back to talk about Harvey Dent after the close-up, of course. See you in a couple seconds. Okay, maybe about 35 seconds. Alright, before I get to the close-up, Todd, I like the fact you're doing the separate cards, but you're putting the plastic thingy on the cards. You still have to rip the plastic thingy off the cardboard. Why? Why, Todd? Why are you doing this to a thing that's glued down? I just really don't understand the packaging sometimes. The fact that I have to have Dr. Scalpel cut the frickin' cat killer plastic thing off. Right? You think it'd be loose. No, it is glued. You still have to peel this thing off. Why waste a little piece of plastic? Okay, I've ranted. Let's get to the close-up, and we'll be back after that. Silver Age Two-Face. The card, of course, is the same on the back of the box. You got that caption on the back. The digital thing that... I don't know if I'm ever going to use these. I don't know. But there's the card. No accessories except the base. Typical. But, and the base is just... Yeah, it's... I mean, I don't mind having a circular base, but it'd be nice if they actually held them up properly. But yeah, it's and trust me, during filming of the close-up, the base kept on. So yeah, hey Todd, retro style, these bases suck a lot of the times. But there's the base. Now I'm old enough. Yes, editor, I am Gen X, so yes, I am old, thank you. As I was about to say before I was interrupted by my editor who wants me dead so they can get my toys, this is definitely the Silver Age Two-Face, the way I remember him in the comics. And I have to admit, it's kind of funny that over the years he went from having this sort of like greenish face to a more... Well, I kind of like the Grant Morrison one, where it's more like just flesh tone. But a lot of people, like me, kind of go, well, that may make too much like Jonah Hex. But this is Two-Face from the Silver Age. You gotta like it. The colors are definitely 1960s to mid-70s in-your-face colors. It's just... But in some way it works, because that face really... Let me back up for a second here. You can really see that face. It really pops. It really gets that grin. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Ow. Woo. But I'm happy I got him. It's definitely another one to add to the Batman's gallery of villains. And articulation, well, there's not going to be as much. As you know, when they do these, it limits the articulation. Now, unlike some of the ones where it's just a soft rubber, you can actually feel there's a solid body underneath there, which is nice. And I have no complaints about the shoulders, because unlike most of the DC Multiverse figures we get that have these shoulders, you got that little gap. I don't have a gap. Really, there's no gap. The coin in the hand's a nice little touch. And before my editor makes a comment, no, I didn't take a magnifying glass to see if one side's scarred or not. I'm not that insane. But there he is, the Silver Age Two-Face. It's going to look good because if you bought the Collector Series stuff, Silver Age Penguin, Silver Age Two-Face, you gotta love it. So I'm going to put him down. And I guess I'll be nice. I'm going to have a sip of Coke for my throat because, frankly, I need it. And before I get to the next figure, I want to address a comment someone made to me in one of the groups I am on Facebook. Yes, I still use Facebook for a few things, especially for keeping in touch with friends who aren't in the city. But this person made a comment because I showed pictures of what I recently picked up, okay, at EB Games. They basically made a comment going, "Don't you have bills to pay?" Yeah. This isn't a sponsored show. The GoFundMe's gone nowhere. So yeah, I have bills to pay. I'm like every other collector. I have bills. I juggle my bills. I cut back on things. I sacrifice to do the show. That means I sacrifice to buy action figures for the show. So, in response to your comment, once again, yes, I have bills to pay. Yes, I juggle my bills. Yes, I make sacrifices. Yes, I do without a lot of things like a social life. I have a very minimalistic diet, so I cut back on food. I don't go to bars. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Well, not smoking, not drinking is not a bad thing, but I really don't go out. I have not gone to see a movie in a theater in a long time. Okay? So, yeah, I have bills to pay. But I do this so I can get the action figures like Stephanie Brown so I can review them on the show. So I hope he who I shall not name in the group, when you see the video, you'll understand that, yeah, I have bills to pay. Okay? Maybe you can feel my pain, and being a toyaholic, do you need to get action figures? Alright. Dr. Scalpel time. Let's get Stephanie out of the package. And, yeah, I'm, accessories. But let's take a look at this. Now, what did you think of Stephanie Brown when she became Batgirl? Would you want Stephanie Brown in the Batgirl outfit that she wore, like this one? Or would you want Stephanie Brown in the Robin outfit? I kind of like this one because it's kind of like Prowler and Batgirl at the same time. But what do you say? Ooh, it's a wired cape. Yes. I'll finish getting the rest of the stuff out, and we'll be back after her close-up. Okay, you got the card. You knew about the card. You got the typical... Now, the one thing about these, if you need a gun for an action figure, just snip that thing off. But at least you got that. And once again, you got the giant Batarang. But let's talk about Stephanie. Well, you saw in the close-up, the hood could be put down. And that was a nice surprise. The fact that the ponytail's there. this is a great figure. I mean, the details in the costuming are there. The base is, whatever. The details in the costuming, I mean, it's a comic book. It is really cool. I like that. The purple bat, the details in the face mask, the hair itself, and you saw it in the close-up. Those eyes really, really stick out. The fact that it's a wired cape, and it's a decently wired cape, this is one, if you missed out, you have my sympathies. Because we don't get that many female action figures from McFarlane. We really don't. And this time, if you missed out, good luck. This is definitely one I recommend. If you see it, pick it up. Pick it up. Because, out of all the female action figures we got, something about this one just sticks out so much because of the cape, the hood that you can put up and down, the details. It literally puts the Huntress figure way back here, because on my shelf, guess where she's going? Front of the shelf. Definitely a front of the shelf action figure. It just deserves that spot. It's got the right color scheme, the right look, enough details to make it, wow, that's really good. But more importantly, they put care and thought into doing the cape and the hood. The fact that there was a ponytail there, yeah, front of the shelf. Pick her up if you can. Definitely one. The only thing I would have been nice would have been a spare head with the mask down. That's it. But no, this is it. And now I kind of do want the Stephanie Brown in a Robin costume. How could you not want that? But before we move on, I do want to say two things. I need another sip of Coke. And once again, I want to do a shout out to Shane. Shane is probably the best kind of collector out there. He cares about other collectors, and I'm looking forward to having a lifetime friendship with Shane, even when this show ends, because it will end. Sorry, bad news. The show is going to end eventually. Okay? But Shane, once more, thank you so much for everything you've done for this show. You're the #1 fan. I just wish I could do more for you. But let's move on to a character that when they announced it, I was through the roof. I was like, yes. And the reason why I say that is, if you remember the moniker from the comic books, they did him dirty. They did him wrong. First appeared, cool character, cool design. A hero turns not really villain, but kind of like someone rogue. Everyone was thinking it's going to be Captain Atom, which I wasn't a big fan of, but it kind of saw it coming. Then they switched it to Hawk from Hawk and Dove, and people were like, what the frell were you doing? Then they retconned it and said, okay, well, it's actually Captain Atom, and I never liked that. So that was one of the things at the time that I said, I'm going to do some research. And I did some research. I did a lot of digging in. This is pre-Crisis DC, by the way. I did a lot of digging, and I found in the Legion of Superheroes, there was a period of time where Brainiac 5 kind of snapped. And to me, it made perfect sense that he would make a suit that would be able to travel back in time. But he never used it, but to get rid of it, to hide the fact that he had this weird thought, he threw it into the time stream, or back in time. And at the same time, roughly, if you remember Doom Patrol, Giles, good old Niles, the leader of Doom Patrol in a wheelchair, was also freaking, well, he's always kind of been nuts. I always thought he'd be the perfect first Monarch. He would have found the suit, donned it, and took upon himself to do what he always does. And I was like, okay, that makes sense to me too. But eventually, he would have been defeated. I still don't think Hawk would have become Monarch. I don't think Hawk should have even turned into Extant, which I'm surprised we didn't get an Extant variant, which would have been kind of cool too, because I think they did Hawk and Dove dirty, like the original Hank Hall, okay? But then after reading Crisis and everything else, I'm one of those guys, I always think, some characters never got a good chance. And one of the things I did was, I figured, I kind of want to bring back some characters from the dead, like I did with some other concepts, and I found the perfect person to do it. Now, if I do have a copy of my artwork that's not just, like I haven't scanned it yet, I'll put it up. So if I have a scan of the artwork, it'll put it up here. Might not be the greatest scan, but it'll be here. And if I don't, you just have me pointing at the ceiling going, oh, there it is. But in my sort of wonderful concept that I did years ago, Monarch is a person who travels through the bleed, through time, to save heroes a moment before their death. But because he doesn't want to affect the timeline, what he does is he basically has a dead clone body of that person right there, and no one can see him because he's literally doing it within a fraction of time. Time stops, he takes the person out, pulls him out, puts the clone body in, and that clone body, of course, appears to die. But that's the way my brain thinks. I read too many comic books, or at least I used to. And before my throat goes completely, let's get my friend, my ally, Dr. Scalpel, and free Monarch from the box of villainy and bring him into the world of, I'm so happy I got him. And I know it's not exactly a comic book accurate Monarch right off the bat, but who cares? Let's finish taking Monarch out of the package, and we'll be back after his close-up. Digital. And at first I thought they actually did something smart. I opened it up, I had 2 cards. I'm thinking one's going to say Hank Hall, one's going to say Nathaniel Adam, but no, it's just, I got a fluke. They put 2 cards in my package, but I got doubles. But yeah, no, this is, I'm very happy with this. You saw in the close-up, this thing is detailed. I mean, it has got detail. It's a pretty good size too. The helmet is nice. Yeah, you can't put the head back. Who cares? This is one that I'm just, yeah, love having this thing. Before you ask, front of the shelf, no questions about it. If anything, I almost forgot to make a shelf for this guy alone, and then once down the road I start doing customs, I will maybe do customs of all the characters my Monarch would bring back. But I definitely think it'd be great now. We need an extent. Now we need an extent because it's really cool. And I know some people have said it would have been cool if they had like the non-masked helmet. Yeah, that would be cool too. Either Hank Hall or Nathaniel Adam would have been cool having the, you know, the unmasked helmets. And let's talk about that a bit. They're saying it's Nathaniel Adam, Captain Adam. He wouldn't need a suit. The guy's like basically the regular DC Universe Dr. Manhattan. Okay? He wouldn't need a power suit. And as for Hank Hall, he's you know, Hawk and Dub are chaos and order, you know, order and chaos. So I never thought that would be good either way. But no, this is definitely something I do like. It would have been nice to have a spare head of either one of them, just to say, you know, look, a spare head. And if you're wondering, before my editor makes a freaking comment, in my concept, I actually had a thing that explained why Hank saw his own face, or Nathaniel Agnew saw his own face in the comic books. Won't get into it too much, but good luck getting him. If you do see him, pick him up. Pick up more than one, because this is a really freaking cool figure. And for example, if you had, say for example, you had two and you had a spare head, toss it on. It would look really cool, a regular, like, you know, head in there. But this is definitely, I'm so happy they did this. McFarlane Toys, thank you. A lot of fans like me who remember these comic books very fondly wanted this character. This is great. This is a fantastic week. A very expensive week at EB Games, but like I said, we budget for these things, we sacrifice for this. So 2 out of 3 front of shelf action figures today. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. This is just, yeah, this is good. So next Wednesday there's a special. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a Dr. Fate special, okay? And of course, the Friday after that will be another On the Peg show. As for what I'm going to do, well, I'm still debating if I want to go this route, because the more I stare at them, I go, they're kind of boring looking. I know, I'm saying that. They're kind of boring looking. But I do have some other things I can look at. I did pick up, and I know, Casey, you make fun of me because I say I don't like the Frost editions, but you know, you got me buying them, so I picked up this guy. Another one for the shelf. I did manage to get a Mr. Miracle, because Metron's coming, and yes, there are 2 versions of Metron. There's a blue Metron, and there's a black Metron. I want them both, because there's going to be a Batman in the Mobius chair, too. McFarlane, you're going to frickin' put me in the poorhouse before this year's over. But I got him. I also got the Sandman, and yes, there's a gray version of him. I saw pictures of it. It looks amazing. I haven't seen it in Ottawa. So I got him, and when I look at him, I'm thinking, I still have to find somebody in the United States who has a Wildcat and an Orion. Those stupid U.S. Target exclusives that never made it up here are a nightmare to get. But I will hopefully eventually track down a Wildcat. Hopefully, maybe, like I said, once the DC multiverse with McFarlane ends, I'll have to go on the secondary market. Maybe that'll become what the show is going to be. It's going to be a hunt for these toys down the road. And the same thing for the Orion, because it's a new god. I mean, we have one new god, another, you know, we need new gods. And I have another one too. I also have this one, the Arkham City. Yes. And it's not as limited as usual. Normally there's like 5,000. There's 7,350 of these. So who knows? Next week, we don't know. I also still have the Batman Croc 2-pack. If I get enough likes on one video, I'm going to open that guy up. What else do I got? Oh yeah, I got the Red Merciless and the Batman Who Laughs 2-pack to open as well down the road. So we got a few things still to open. And Shane, give you a heads up, okay? There will be a Gargoyle special coming before summer's end, we still have 2 gargoyles in my collection to open up, and I still have a whole bunch more maybe to track down the road as well. But that's going to be it. I'm going to have another sip of my Coke, and yes, I am a Habs fan. Born and raised. And even though I'm having a bit of a hard time doing it this week, you got to do your best for your body, your mind, and the reason why I do this show, of course, your mental well-being. Do your best to stay healthy. And when you do get 2 action figures that just take the worst day you could be imagining and just give you that F yeah, it's a good way to stay happy and computer quit beeping at me. And when you do have stuff to look forward to, like a Dr. Fate special next Wednesday, another show on Friday, an eventual Gargle special before end of the summer, it's a good way, of course, to stay positive. And on that wonderful note, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Spend time with your loved ones. If you don't have anyone in your life, spend time with a stranger. It's a Montreal thing. Go to a coffee shop. Go to a bar. Sit down. Hey, go, hey, you want to talk? Buy someone a drink. Have a conversation. Okay? Don't be like me where you work 6 days a week to pay rent, juggle bills, and buy action figures. He's worth it. He's so worth it. But no, it's. I miss those days of having that kind of social life. I mean, I miss my daughters, and it's the one thing that you have to realize. You know, being a toyholic, collecting action figures, in some way, this is our way of connecting. You know, I mean, Shane knows fully well, we've never physically met, but he's a brother to me. I have other friends, the same thing, other writer friends, and I know a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people just don't get, how can you be friends with someone you never physically met? It's from that shared connection, that shared bond. So if you are alone this weekend, reach out to someone with the same thing, the same kind of collection, the same kind of bond or some interest, and just have a conversation. It's good for you, for your health, your happiness, and of course your mental health. And I've ranted a lot, didn't I, today? I've ranted, sorry. It's what I do. As you know, this is an unscripted show. This is me basically sharing my passion for action figures and of course for mental health, if it's important. And on that wonderful note, take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys again really soon for another episode of On the Peg. Until then, keep buying action figures. Oh, thank you for joining me. I'm not feeling well. And that ruined that whole bit. Let's take that over again. Hey, welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only. I don't like that. I was smart about this one. I pre-ordered it. Stephanie Brown, Power Girl. Yes. If you didn't pre-order it, you'll probably have to buy more. Buy more. Yeah, buy more toys. Buy more toys and send them to me. Buy more toys. Yeah. All right. Let's take all that over again.